Hello there, everyone. This is Neko here, getting ready to play The Infected. So, we're gonna continue on. Last episode, we upgraded the second floor. This time, we're gonna fill in a bunch of these uh, ghost images, and maybe we'll look at doing some other things in the process. I think at some point, we're gonna do another episode for looting and killing some crocs, so we'll have like a two-part for that. Right now, I'm working on getting clay and everything else. If you enjoy watching my content and following along and watching me build, make sure to subscribe. Otherwise, this is probably going to be rather boring for you, but who knows? Alright, back to this. We got a decent amount of boxes full here of clay, so we can actually start filling in roofs and everything else. There are some other build pieces I would appreciate being able to have. One of the build pieces that I would love to have is a peak, or whatever the hell you want to call it, for roofs. Which actually I think I just saw and we have right here. Yeah, we'll be using this for some of the build stuff that we need. Although I don't think this is going to work too well for going across this, so we probably will be using this. So we would have it come down like this here, and then, but I'm not sure how it's going to look. So that's part of the reason why we got to fill in these stairs and foundations and other stuff. Hopefully Mike can get fixed. As far as I can tell, I had to delete a bunch of these boxes because he would literally go through every single box. Every single box. And check every single box. So he would go over to the plants over here, like the onions. He would harvest all the onions, go and check every single box, and then dump them. Then he would do the same thing for any other of the plants that needed to be filled in the box, and do the same thing. He would check every single box with those, and I was like, yeah, screw it, let's speed this up. Anyways, Mike currently seems to be stuck because he can't get through the metal. Whoop! He teleported. He can't seem to get through the metal fence here, so I think I might just throw in a gate just so I can get him moving and collecting wood, because we do need wood. So let's see where we can put the metal gate. Then we'll move everything around. That way he can get in and out, because I do need that wood. So construction, other, big metal gate. How big? How many spots can we fit? So it looks like it would fit nearly perfect right here. The problem is the fence won't. Yeah, I think we're gonna have to move those, but it's gonna leave a little bit of a gap, which is going to suck, but that's fine. We need to get this set up anyways. Plus, I can actually fix it by just doing something like that instead. So we just simply move this slightly over like that, and then fill in, that way we can fill in the gap like this. So let's see if we, I think if we put this like that, then we can move admittedly, I'm probably gonna want to fuse this into with the other piece here. So, dang it, move you. Actually, I don't think they can squeeze through this, but it wouldn't look right having such a big gap. Is my issue. So, but then there's the issue of the this piece right here. So I kind of wish we had a half one of these, so it was about half the size, because then I would or a quarter one, so I could fit it in between like this. But for now, we'll just worry about this later. I'm just going to get this set up. We'll get the door and everything else ready to go, and then we'll work on some of the other things, like getting all these railings. Okay, for now, that's good enough. Actually, no, it's not, because I think the infected can run through this. So what's it take to make this? We need flip nuggets. I don't got the mechanical parts. We're gonna have to loot. So I think next episode we'll do looting, then go kill some stuff. But in the meantime, we'll just worry about this. And I think what I can do is temporarily take you and put this over here, because I think Mike can travel through these. And that should theoretically prevent any of the enemies from being able to spawn and reach me. Theoretically. Now, whether or not that happens, well, we'll find out if there's a raid. Now that we've got that temporarily taken care of and planned, it's time to build roofs, ceilings, and everything else in between. And it's a lot of running up and down, so it isn't going to be all that exciting. But it is going to give you a small tour. I am going to have to start planning out some stuff. I am going to have to get a hell of a lot more clay. I may have to even make a second clay extractor, which again, I think takes... or not clay extractor, but clay mixer, which takes mechanical parts. And we don't have mechanical parts. We've got 2. And I need 4 more for over there with those. And then I need 10 for the gate. And then we need, if we're going to make the second clay, that's going to be another 4. So we're sitting at like 20 mechanical parts. That's a hell of a lot. Alrighty, where is my log cart? That is my question. I do have a few of them floating around, and it looks like one is over here. It must be down below or outside. We'll go check outside first. And it's outside. Woohoo! Oh right, I was in the middle of trying to pre-plan out these foundations and stuff. In other words, I was grabbing a bunch of the sandstone, coming over to these, and dumping them into this. So I can be like, look, yay! Now, I think last episode I planned to make this bottom row here all bricks. So we have sandstone, brick, and then wood here, just so that it kind of matches what's going on over to this side over here. And then this, I think I might turn this into sandstone. This one right here into sandstone, maybe. Not 100% sure. I feel like it would work because sandstone, 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 and then brick. And then brick here. I might go brick, brick, and then brick over like this. Still a lot of planning, a lot of guessing, a lot of figuring it out. Okay, well, we'll get as much of this as we can here filled in. We'll see where we're at. Everything else between. I gotta see if we have any sandstone. Sandstone. No. What I would like to see is some sandstone. Where is it? These. I would like to see some sandstone of these here, because then I could do sandstone side here, sandstone here, so that it's boom, sandstones all the way down like this. And then we can get sandstone right here. I kind of do wish we could have some more snap points, so that way we can have, so I can be like, okay, snap into the side here and it goes across here. So if I had a sandstone one of those, I could snap it into the wall, and because there's no foundation that's going to fit here because it would sink too far in the ground and it wouldn't work here. So this would be a very, very difficult spot to try and get built. I could figure out a way to do it, but I'd prefer not to have to struggle so hard for it. Oh, there's kind of no point in putting that one there, but we'll do it anyways. We'll get this all filled in. We'll drop as much of this as possible. Then we'll go dump off the crates. Actually, we'll dump them off over here because we do have sandstone we need to empty. So for now, dump you. Dump you. Temporarily dump you because we're going to be focusing on logs. And ceiling and clay and everything else in between. So we can get at least some of the roof structures and other things built. Because I have a lot I need to get done. And then I gotta think about where I'm gonna put my sawmill. I'm thinking about once we get all of our structure built here, I'm gonna have to figure out where to put all of these log places and stuff. I'll probably reduce the number of them once we get to a certain point in the build. Because at that point we'll have most of everything built and ready to go and all that fun crud. Now the railings in here I'm not going to fill in because those aren't permanent. Those are just separating the rooms so I can decorate and plan future structure builds. Instead of trying to guess where I want things and what to do with the certain structures. Almost tempted to start littering the entire place with logs though, because we just ran over here, barely got anywhere, and now we gotta run all the way back up there just to get more logs. Woohoo! I do wish there was an advanced log cart. Again, I know, advance this, advance that, advance, but it would add to the game, and it would give more to grind towards. Plus, it would add quality of life improvements, like being able to store, let's say, 1, 2, 3 of these into the log holder. That way we could hold, what is it? 2, 4, 6, 8, 16, 24. We would hold 24, so it would basically double the capacity of this, which only holds 11. Then we could snatch an extra 3 like that. So we'd be carrying nearly 30 logs as a result by doing that. And it would save on so many trips instead of having to deal with all these issues of running back and forth and struggling. But once, at some point, we'll definitely have a bunch of these set up. And eventually we won't be running back and forth. Now, I'm not sure if there's other designs or other builds you would like to see. Just let me know. And depending on how many people say or what they suggest, I can always add more to this build or plan out a future build series somewhere. I already have a couple spots I want to plan out. I have one where I want to do a city build, where I build on the city. Then I have another one where I'm thinking about building in here. And then I have another one where I'm thinking about building over here. So we'd be close to the big trees, we'd be close to rapids, there would be a cave, and there's some nice waterfalls around here. I think it was like right here or right here that I wanted to build because it had the waterfalls here. And there's all kinds of neat building places around here. It's just a matter of finding them. For me, I don't really care about optimal locations. There's always a better location. It's just a matter of where, when, and why you want it. Nope. Okay. Got asked the question. Woo! So now let's get this all built. Yay! Now we can get this built. Again, I'm thinking about redoing most of the pathway here and rebuilding it as sandstone, or bricks actually. So what I would be doing is I'd be taking the bricks here and I would be building with bricks. Dirt wouldn't exactly work here. It would be neat to build in some other locations, but bricks, the brick path would be what I would do. Now, if there was sandstone version of this would be kind of neat. In other words, we had sandstone pathing. The problem is the sandstone and cement is hell of expensive. And this one takes an iron ingot for some reason. I don't know why you would need a short like this, because you would be sinking it into the ground, unless you want to have the metal, unless you want the metal like this elevated, which, I'm not sure. Yeah, I don't know why you would use this one. I'm sure there's some building methods you could use it. I probably will figure out a way to do it at some point in the future, but until then, let's just continue with this. Doesn't matter if I had this way or the other way. Both ways are going to be a little bit long. I think this way is shorter because it does come in here instead of going out, around, up, and around and through here. So I'll probably continue going through this way. I still need to get the ceiling, still need to get the roof. There's so much to do, so little time, especially when you're working 10-hour shifts and you don't need to be. Yeah, baby. But at least this time I'm not as super tired. I am still tired, but whew. Okay, where are we at? How do I want to build the ceiling here? Because we are going to have this. Maybe we could have a not ceiling, but you here. There, and then right there. Oops. Would work. Throw in a curve there, then throw in this part would be a little bit difficult to figure out, but I'm sure we could make it work. So basically we'd have a little two-part there. Then this part would be, I think we would throw on one of you, but it would be, come on. Nope, too low. We might have to change up how that connects, but it would be like that. So it would come down, then we would connect and have it connect here. This is kind of what I'm thinking. Get you here. The problem then becomes this spot right here, because if I decide I want to take this and make it like that, then we have the issue of this, where if I take this and like that, you can see that it doesn't, it would oh, I gotta see how this works. I gotta figure out where the idiots are gonna come in at. Oh, there they are. Let's see what happens with this. Will they break through, or will they die? That is the question. And how much, since I kind of have the damage reduced. Oh. Did you guys really, and I mean just literally really, do that? Like, are you guys special in the head? Like, were you afraid to attack the barbed wire? Like, I'm. Anyways, enough with that. That's gonna short circuit my brain if I continue thinking about why the hell they did that. But anyways, enough with that. So, another building roof piece that would be kind of cool is if we could have something like this with that can connect this and this together. Oh, I need water. This would be another neat build piece to have, because then we could have a little triangle connect point right here. And then that would work, because then the water would flow down this and then spill over to the side that way or that way, instead of pulling at that part and then slowly trickling that way or trickling that way or leaking through the roof. Now the issue is, I think this is going to be close as hell to the head. So the question now becomes is how tall would this make this? It would make it too tall for there, but it would make the roof, if we could have a 1/4 size, that would be perfect, because then I could raise that up by a 1/4, and then raise this up by a 1/4, and then raise this by a 1/4. So we would have a little bit more headroom here. This feels a little close right there at that angle. Right here feels okay. Then we're gonna have this probably the close angle roof issue again. I probably should get water before I become too thirsty. And some food. Yay! Drink you. Let's go eat some food. There's Mike doing his business. I gotta keep this open at all times. And I might have to put him back on plant duty first. And then put him on logs, and then the problem is he is not the best. Right now he seems to be having a little bit of issue. A little bit issue prioritize with planting. His planting is kind of like he's a little special with his planting right now. Hopefully he can be fixed. Whether or not he can, that is a different story. A little bit of potatoes there. We got a little bit of meat, but I'm thinking this stuff, I gotta remember which one gives me the most stamina, and probably should be making that one the most. But this does give me the most protein, at least. Oops. You give fun, resistant, and health. I mean, health is nice, but I need stamina more. That's part of the reason why I want to be able to raise boars. Boars would be a really nice addition. And sheep would be another nice addition. Because then we could start building some of the other... Not this. We could start building some of these decorations easier. Like round carpet, carpet. I don't know if we got any more other furniture. Cloth, copper. I'm not seeing anything in here that involves needing carpet or wool. This is cloth and plastic. Cloth. You know, we have wool. Why do we not? Why does some of this stuff not take wool? It would be nice to see some more wool options, but we would also need options for wool to be more accessible. Plus, with sheep, we could use it to get animal hide and wool for things like this. And with the boar, we would get more animal hide on top of that. Anyways, we'll have to go buy some decorations at some point, but that's going to have to be later. Alright, back to building and everything else and all that fun crud. Now that we're full and healthy and... You must be Space Pigeon. The last one, last time you... What the hell? Is that... What's with the weird seams here? There's another weird seam there. Weird seam. Is it just the texture of the wood? For some reason, those seem to be slightly off for some weird reason. Alright, back to building. Actually, what's it take to fill this in? Ingot, screw, glass? Oh, I think I have all that. Let's get that built. Screw. Ingot and glass. We need 10 glass and 4 ingots. Probably should start filling in all the windows, actually. 1, 2, 3, 4. Glass. Where did I put my glass? Or did I sell it? I might have sold all of my glass. If I did, oops. If I didn't, I gotta figure out where the hell it went. Nope. Nope. Still no. Also no. Nope. Nope. No. No. And nope. Huh. I must have sold all my glass. Dang it. I thought I was going to get this built. I was going to be like, yay! Actually, I'm thinking about well, if I'm going to be making my kitchen over here and dining room over here, I'm thinking about making this area glass. Why is there a seam here? How the hell did this happen, and why can't I see through it? Sometimes I wonder how the hell some of this happens. But, oh well. I'm not gonna rebuild all of it. Maybe if I upgrade it, it will fix itself? Maybe? Hopefully? Who knows? Probably not. I mean, I upgraded those and then I can still see the weird seams on them. And I'm loving the way this build is turning out, and I'm glad I realized I could use these to give that slanted roof look, so when I'm up here it slants down towards this. It makes it feel a bit more natural. Plus I can fill it in. After that, we're going to have to go on top once I get all the ceilings filled in and start placing down relays and start wiring up everything. Woo! I could throw in a pole here. Oh, there and there. This is more of just so that I can build the roof and have it connect properly, because it didn't seem to want to connect properly here, which is fine. But I'll worry about that at some other point. Right now, we're just going to fill in the railings and fill in as much of the stuff we can around here, because I want to make this place start to look neat and pretty and everything else in between. We are going to try and fill in these places here so I can plop down some of the other stuff. Problem is with this area, I would like to put a roof over it, but, well, we could still put a roof over it. I could build hell of high and put a roof and a ceiling on this and keep this from getting weathered. Probably would save on maintenance and a few other issues too if I was to protect this, but at the same time I think it's designed to deal with being out in the weather like this. But I mean, the less I have to maintain, theoretically the less I would have to maintain it, the better. But actually, is this, dude, how fast is this spinning? Holy flip. To get that spinning that fast? That thing is huge. This should be spinning so slow compared to this. Like, they look like they're spinning at the same exact speed, which wouldn't be possible, because this would be spinning like 10 to 20 to 100 times faster than this. So if that's spinning like that, this should be screaming. You shouldn't be seeing any of the wheels at all. And this would be producing hell of a lot of torque. Actually, would it be producing torque or would it be producing speed? I forgot which way is which. I think the bigger the drive gear and the smaller the driven, the faster you go. And I think the smaller the drive gear and the bigger the driven gear, the more torque you produce. Has been a little while since I've done stuff like this, but this needs to be fixed a little. That way, this looks like it's just spinning at 8 bazillion miles an hour. To be able to make this look like it's spinning that fast, or slow this down. One of the two. Because there's no way this would be spinning as fast as this at the same speed. They would have to be the exact same gear ratio. Although, yeah. They would have to be the exact same size to be spinning the same speed like that. Now, maybe visually, maybe it looks like they're visually spinning at the same speed, and maybe it could just be like a perception issue, because sometimes, like, certain frames, like if you're watching water through a camera at a certain frame rate, sometimes it looks like the water is traveling backwards up the sink, and it's some really nice, cool optical illusions. Maybe that's what's going on. Maybe? I don't know. But unless there's like some kind of indicator, it's just like, this don't look right type of deal. Alright, let's get these built, then we can plop in whatever we need, where we need them. And hopefully I can be like, look at me, prettying up my base. Okay, so now we'll place some roofs here. Constructions, roofs, you. Nope, quit. There we go. And you in there. You there. 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 That should take care of that. Now the question is, how do I deal with the transition from this? Because we're going to want to have... Yeah, we're going to have to build these. Because if I try to slap it onto the poles here, it's going to overlap this one or overlap this one. So we'll have to build out these to get this, these to get the roof here settled properly. All right. I'm gonna go set up the roof over here, and I think this episode's gonna be like prettying up my base, slowly prettying up my base, woo, type of title and thumbnail. Oops. All right, down we go, because there's no way I'm gonna get all of this done. And I want to at least have something look completed, even though I have done quite a bit. So we'll throw you in here. Whoop. Throw you in there. Perfect. Throw you in there. We'll get all of this done, or at least get it mostly looking done. So what are we missing? Looks like mostly clay for these. Sweet. Oh, and apparently some planks for some of these. Awesome. Well, now that we got that, we can slap you onto here. We'll throw you onto there. We'll get you onto... Yeah, see? Look. I don't know what causes this, but I would love to have some of these roofs and this angle. I'm gonna get a screenshot of this. And maybe another screenshot to get a emphasize to the size difference between this one and the other one. There we go. I'm not... actually, can I place this down and will it be normal or will it be... Huh. Okay. That... I need to see if this... I need to see if this, will... It's good... Wait. Oh. Did I must have accidentally chose this because I didn't. Okay. Never mind. I'm dumb. I must have clicked right here instead of here. That must have been what happened the last time too. I was like, there's a difference between this, and it's like, how the hell did this happen? It was confusing the hell out of me. Gotta love when you sometimes make mistakes. Yay! Anyways, it happens. As much as I dislike it, I usually try to avoid making stupid mistakes and making, or not stupid, but I try to avoid making simple mistakes like that where it's something that involves looking rather than just assuming something is wrong. Because it makes me feel like when I see other YouTubers do it, I'm like, dude, just slow down and look. And then when I do it, I'm just like, dang it, I just told I basically just told them to slow down and look, and here I am making the same mistake. Oh well. But usually I don't say anything to them about slowing down and look unless it's literally just like, I mean, holy mother of flip nuggets. Like, woo! They really do need to slow down and look type of obvious screw-ups. Not just like simple screw-ups like what I just did. But this is like the game is screaming right in front of their face, and it's just like, right here, and they're just like, that is, yeah. I might say something then. Clay. Alright, I think we need planks. So I'm gonna go grab a bunch of planks. I'm gonna go throw my screws up. Yay! Blech. Screws everywhere. In you go. You just got screwed, box. Ah. Oh, ran out of stamina. I think I'm gonna buy that stamina perk. So that way I'm not running out of stamina as often, because I do love to build all kinds of places. I might try and do a compact build one time and just see how that goes. Who knows? I don't think I'll be able to do it, but you never know. Maybe I can do it. The problem is I like having enough room to decorate, enough room to be able to do everything, and I want a room for every specific item, or groups of items. Like, I would have a anvil and in other words, I would have a workshop where I would have all the benches, enough room for all the benches, and have them separated out a little bit. I would have enough room for the mixers and stuff, and grinders, and have a room set out for that. I would have a sawmill structure. I would have a repair bench place. I would have a distiller. I would have a butcher's table. In other words, I would have a chemical place. So I'd have chemicals in the distiller in their own little room. And then I would have... actually, forge might be in the same room as some of the other things, or it might be its own room. Then I would have a plant room, and yeah, and that's why it's hard to build compact, because I want rooms for all of those items, not just some of the items. And I would definitely need to make sure I have the room. Otherwise, if it's too compact, it's just like, it looks like a mess, and it's like, ugh, what the hell? Alright, my recording paused at 17. I may be going way overboard than I anticipated, which, I guess isn't too bad. I'm gonna try and finish up this area and call it. I don't know why my recording paused. Normally I use that to keep track of everything. We're going to slap you in, slap you in, slap you in. Then we're going to take you, and I think... I might... If I try this, if we take this and this, we would need to... Are there any... Yes, there are some logs nearby. Takes a hell of a long time to chop all this. I don't want him taking all of these, but at the same time, I need to come back and... I'm gonna grab all these while I can. There we go. Now I need to experiment with this, because my idea is that I want to have the ceiling, this roof, to be... Yeah, if I had a... quarter... I mean, I could use this, but it would I don't want to. I think I would have to use... I'm not sure how I would do this. I might just stick to a... whatever you call it. You know what? I think we'll finish this off camera. It's getting late. I need to go to bed and everything else. We pretty much got a lot of things filled in, so... If you guys enjoyed, please like. If you didn't, I understand. Not much happened. Just running around, gathering, everything else, working on things, getting a few things prepped. I'm gonna have to think about how I'm gonna do this. I might just set this up in the corner right here and here for this, and then have another one set up here and use it like that. Either way, if you guys want to see more of this series, make sure to check out the channel. If you want to see other games I play, check out the in-screen credits. I do play other games in the other process. If you want to be added on to the in-screen credits like these people, make sure to publicly subscribe. After a certain amount of time, I'll add you on. Otherwise, I hope you enjoyed and you come back for more. I'm going to get ready for the next episode and get a few things prepared. And admittedly, I could put this, but it would look weird. Actually, no, I could make this work. Bye-bye.